Jamari Brooks is suing the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office after a violent case of mistaken identity.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Brooks was leaving his chiropractor, he has a bad back, when a JSO gang unit looking for a suspect in a similar car drew guns and released a canine dog on him. Brooks immediately surrendered, laying down face down. The cops still tackled him, and then they sucked the dog on him, and the dog chewed on Brooks' arm.
There was no police chase, there was no crime, and yet he's beaten and has the dog put on him.
Former JSO detective Jose Garriga, now serving 24 years in prison for an unrelated sex crime against a child, was on the scene and told colleagues that they had the wrong man. Despite knowing this, the officer still filed what Brooks' attorney called a dysfunctional police report because the police report didn't match the body cam.
It's going to impugn the entire credibility of an entire police force and an entire profession that is otherwise honorable.
Let's listen to this bullshit narrative from both the reporter and the lawyer.
Now to an I-Team investigation. News4Jax has learned the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office faces a federal lawsuit over a 2022 incident caught on body cam.
Get on the ground! Get on the
So right away, the cops start screaming at him to get on the fucking ground. Get on the fucking ground. Because if you don't lay on the ground, they don't feel safe. They're scared.
ground!
The lawsuit claims the department's gang unit and K-9 violently took down the wrong man as he was leaving a doctor's appointment. And joining us now in studio is News4Jax anchor Tarek Miner.
Yes, so Tarek, you spoke with the lawyer about the federal lawsuit.
Brooks was immediately met with officers who had their guns drawn, giving him various commands.
You've got alternating commands that are inconsistent, like stop, come here. You know, you got multiple officers that are all SWAT that are giving, you know, don't move, put your hands behind your back.
It's a jackboot thug pig organization.
The report says the gang unit tried to stop a car, but it sped away. JSO followed the car to a medical complex and watched as a black male wearing a black shirt and a lime green hat walked into an office. The report says the same man came out of the office about 1 to 2 minutes later.
There was no police chase, there was no crime, there was nothing to...
There was no police chase, there was no crime, there was nothing. A group of pigs driving around in cars saw a car and said, oh, that's the same car for the guy we're looking for, but it wasn't.
warrant this response, and yet he's, you know, beaten and has the dog put on him. And the police report wildly describes an incident that body camera completely disagrees with.
The lawsuit states that Brooks immediately lay face down on the pavement with his arms outstretched, and lawyers allege an officer slammed his head onto the pavement and kneeled on his back. Canine Hucks bit...
There's a shocker. Canine Huck bit Brooks' arm? You mean mangled and destroyed his arm?
Brooks for about a minute.
For about a minute, those dirty pigs sat there and watched a canine dog savagely destroy this man's life. His arm will never be the same ever again.
In this 2022 video is former JSO officer Jose Garriga, who's serving a 24-year prison sentence for an unrelated sex crime. Philip says while Garriga is on scene, he can be
against a child. It's not an unrelated sex crime. It's a sex crime against a kid. Get it right.
heard on video telling his colleagues they arrested the wrong man. The lawsuit states that Garriga says it ain't him.
Well, actually, I guess I'll be deposing him in prison and confirming why he knew or when he knew this was, you know, Jabari Brooks was not the person they were looking for.
Philip says even after Garriga identified Brooks as the wrong suspect, officers still filed this police report that he says has multiple factual errors.
They had their agenda. If we don't hold officers more responsible, not just for mistakes, I think we got to hold them, you know, responsible for some mistakes, but malfeasance, then what good are they? And it's gonna impugn the entire credibility of an entire police force and an entire profession that is otherwise honorable.
No. Their reputation has already been impugned. They have already destroyed themselves. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't trust a single dirty jackboot thug pig that you see on the street. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't trust cops at all whatsoever. And then this lawyer starts his cop sucking, saying how an otherwise honorable profession. No, it is not an honorable profession. You are a parasite on the community. You are the enemy of the people. You are the enemy of freedom. And to be honest with you, most of us really don't like you. Most Americans don't trust you, and a very large percentage hate police.
Then what good are they? and it's gonna impugn the entire credibility of an entire police force, an entire profession that is otherwise honorable.
It is not otherwise honorable. It is not otherwise honorable. That's such a fucking lie, dude. Why sit there and lie? Because you're a lawyer? You just sit there and lie? Look at him. He's sitting there lying. Look at his face. You can see on his face he's just sitting there lying. You're going to impugn an entire police force, an entire profession that's otherwise honorable. No, it's not, dude. If you went to the military and you signed up to be a pig, you got duped. You got fooled. There's nothing honorable about being a fucking pig in America.
You can't question me anymore after I invoke my clearly established Fifth Amendment right. This is how it works. This is how you do it. If I need a little resting, if I need to hold my arm up, look at this. Look what I'll do. I'll take my arm rest right there and I stick my elbow right on it. Do you see how I do that? You see that? Your arms go to a touchdown position. That's how your arms do it. Your arms go to a touchdown position. You see this arm elbow bend right there? Phone's at the top of it. There's the top of the goalpost. There's the other side of the goalpost. Now I've got a touchdown position. Copper can't say I was reaching. Copper can't say nada. I had my license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go along with a copy of my driver. I'm a black man today named Denzel Washington. I had everything ready to go for the jackboot thug pig. I had everything ready to go. License, registration, proof of insurance, everything was together on a laminated card. I already laminated it. I took my time to do it because I don't want this jackboot thug pig to have any kind of power over me. I gave you everything I have to give you required by law. Leave me alone at that point. I'm not gonna play the game of why'd you pull me over. I'm not gonna play the game of do you know how fast I was going. No, 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 no. We've seen time and time and time again that you end up going in torture cuffs, that you end up going to jail. You have to use the trifold. Then the cop says, you know what? I want to search your car. And you say, okay, sure, you can search my car. And then you get out of the car. And then you turn around and you pull your trifold out and you say, you know what, I revoke consent. If I can give consent, then I can revoke consent. I revoke consent on camera. Now, from the 1914 case of Weeks called the exclusionary rule, he can no longer search. He has to stop searching. Anything he finds after the search, after you revoke consent, is no longer admissible in a court of law. If you have it on camera, doesn't matter what you have in your car after that point. You gave consent, he took your consent, used your consent, you revoked that consent, and then he searched your car anyway. It's now the exclusionary rule. No longer can he use it. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree from 1961, Mapp versus Ohio.